Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLESFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOURFRINDS and Philadelphia EAGLESFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. The NFL offseason is always buzzing, and the Eagles are no exception. This past week, there's been a lot of chatter around the team's tight end situation, and it's not just idle talk. It's about possible moves that could redefine their offense heading into the 2024 season. Philadelphia already boasts one of the most talented tight ends in the league, Dallas Goedert. This guy has been a game changer for the Eagles, a perfect blend of size, athleticism, and reliable hands, making him a favorite target for Jalen Hurts and a key piece in their offensive puzzle. But the question that's been swirling around the NFL circles lately is, could the Eagles make a bold move and bring in another top-tier tight end? And if so, who might that be? Well, interestingly enough, the rumors are pointing toward Atlanta Falcons' Kyle Pitts. Now, before we dive into the speculative trade scenarios, let's take a moment to appreciate what Goedert means to Philadelphia. Since joining the team, he's been a consistent threat on the field. His ability to stretch the field, make contested catches, and block effectively makes him one of the most complete tight ends in football. Not to mention, his chemistry with Hurts has only grown stronger with each season, and he's become a favorite target in critical situations, especially in the red zone. When you look at his stats, they're impressive, averaging over 700 yards per season with multiple touchdown catches and consistently being a reliable option. And that's saying a lot, considering the depth of the Eagles' roster and the offensive schemes they run. But as competitive teams do, Philadelphia is always looking for ways to get better, to add more firepower, especially in a division as tough as the NFC East. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but wait, isn't Goedert enough? Why would the Eagles go after Kyle Pitts? Well, folks, it's all about the potential and the strategic moves that could elevate the offense to a new level. Pitts, at just 24 years old, is a true unicorn at the tight end position. When he stepped onto the field as a rookie, he immediately showed what he's capable of: over 0 yards receiving, plenty of highlight reel catches, and a natural ability to create mismatches against defenders. The problem, however, is that the Falcons haven't quite figured out how to fully utilize his talent. Some analysts argue that Atlanta hasn't given Pitts enough opportunities in their offensive game plan, which is a shame considering the raw potential he has. Imagine pairing Pitts with a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, who's been evolving into one of the league's most dynamic playmakers. The possibilities are endless. Now, let's consider the trade scenarios that have been floated around. One interesting proposal, and it's coming from some NFL insiders like Corey Woodruff from USA Today, involves the Eagles leveraging some of their draft capital to make a move. Philadelphia, as many of you know, has been stockpiling draft picks over the past few seasons, especially heading into the 2026 draft class. This gives them a significant bargaining chip. Woodruff suggested that the Eagles could offer a third-round pick in 2026, which is quite reasonable considering Pitt's talent and age, in exchange for the young tight end. The logic here is compelling. Pitts, with his immense potential, could be a franchise-changing player, and acquiring him could be a strategic move to keep the Eagles competitive and unpredictable on offense for years to come. But why would Atlanta even consider trading Pitts? Well, there are a few reasons. For one, Atlanta has been in a bit of a rebuilding phase. They've got a new coaching staff, and there's been speculation that they might be open to trading some of their assets to accelerate that rebuild or to acquire draft capital to bring in new talent. Plus, Pitts himself is entering the final year of his rookie contract, and the Falcons could decide to move him now to maximize his value before he hits free agency next spring. If they do, the Eagles, with their deep draft arsenal, could step in and take a shot at adding that dynamic playmaker. Another factor to consider is the overall offensive scheme. The Eagles' coaching staff, led by head coach Nick Sirianni and offensive coordinator Brian Johnson, has shown a willingness to adapt and incorporate versatile weapons into their game plan. Adding Pitts, a mismatch nightmare for defenses, could open up new options in the passing game and even help in the red zone, where Goedert has been a reliable target but could be complemented by Pitts' unique skill set. Let's not forget about the other pieces involved. The NFL trade market is always fluid, and there's also the possibility of the Eagles trading away some players to make room for Pitts or to bolster other areas of the roster. For example, some have speculated about the possibility of trading away a player like Bryce Huff, who has been attracting attention after a strong season with the Jets and a surprising move to the 49ers. Huff is a talented pass rusher, and while he's under contract for just one more season, his trade value could be high. Moving him could free up cap space or draft capital, allowing the Eagles to make a more aggressive move for Pitts or other pieces they see fit. Now, I want to stress that these are all speculative scenarios at this point. Nothing is set in stone, but what's undeniable is that the Eagles are always looking for ways to improve and stay ahead of the competition. Their management has shown a willingness to be aggressive when the right opportunity presents itself, and a trade for a player like Pitts would certainly fit that mold. It would be a bold move, but one that could pay off big time in the long run, especially considering how well Pitts could fit into their offensive scheme and how much he could elevate their passing attack. Plus, it's interesting to look at how other teams are maneuvering in this offseason. Some franchises are making big splashes, while others are stockpiling draft picks, waiting for the right moment. The NFC South, where Atlanta resides, has been particularly active, with rumors swirling around several key players and potential trades. The Falcons, having drafted Pitts in 2021, are still trying to build an identity, and trading away a player of his caliber could be part of that puzzle. But the Eagles, with their proven track record of identifying talent and making smart moves, could very well be the team to make a compelling offer that Atlanta can't refuse. And let's not forget, Philadelphia's roster is already stacked. They have a talented defense, led by stars like Darius Slay and Fletcher Cox, and an offense that's been evolving rapidly. Jalen Hurts has become one of the league's most exciting dual-threat quarterbacks, and with weapons like Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, and Dallas Goedert, the sky's the limit. Adding Pitts would just be the cherry on top, creating a nightmare matchup for defensive coordinators. Imagine a defense trying to cover all those weapons; it would be nearly impossible. Now, I know some of you might be wondering about the cap space and whether the Eagles can afford such a move. Well, Philadelphia has been smart with their cap management, and they still have some flexibility to make strategic moves. They're also known for their ability to find value in the draft and develop players, which means they could potentially bring Pitts in without breaking the bank, especially if they leverage their draft picks wisely. But perhaps the biggest question right now is, what do you, the fans, think? Do you believe the Eagles should pull the trigger on a trade for Kyle Pitts? Would that move put them over the top and solidify their Super Bowl contender status? Or do you think they should stick with what they have and focus on developing their existing roster? Either way, it's an exciting time for Eagles fans because the front office has shown that they're not afraid to make bold moves when the opportunity arises. In the end, the NFL offseason is all about strategy, timing, and seizing opportunities. And Philadelphia, as always, is in the thick of it, looking to build a roster that can contend for a championship. Whether they pull off a trade for Pitts or decide to go in a different direction, one thing is clear: the Eagles are committed to winning, and they're always looking for creative ways to improve their team. As fans, we just have to stay tuned, stay excited, and keep supporting our guys through every twist and turn of this thrilling offseason. So remember, folks, the NFL never sleeps, and neither do we. We'll keep bringing you the latest updates, rumors, and expert analysis to help you stay ahead of the game. The Eagles' future is bright, and with these potential moves on the horizon, it's going to be a fascinating ride. Stay with us because the best is yet to come. And as always, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this possible Pitts move? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you see it happening? Would you love to see Pitts in midnight green? Your opinion matters so much, and I can't wait to see what you all think. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. Let's go, Birds!